Hello, let me get this next to me here. Hello everyone. I'm going to quickly show you through screen capture and wave to the camera. How Jack can be used to connect things and make things work where normally they would not operate and work together very well. So, first of all, what is Jack? It's an open source project by Paul Davis, originally started on Linux, ported over to Mac, and I don't know where the status is on the Windows side. I know there's something available through the folks at who make the Mixbus, which is I'm drawing a blank now. Um, Harrison Consoles. Ben Loft was involved in that project, a friend of mine. But anyways, there's two ways to install it. There's the Jack Pilot, and there's the which comes with the software and the actual interface for controlling it. Jack Pilot has in my opinion, a difficult routing interface where QJack Control, which originally started on the Linux side, ported over to Mac, has a much more user-friendly. So here I've got Connect. I've got first of all, let's go into Setup and show that this is where the program runs, core audio, which particular device, in this case Personas, the Studio Live, the 1642, and I've got the periods at 256, 44.1, or frames per period, and the periods per buffer, I don't know what it is. It's whatever it defaults to, which I think is a function of the actual driver interface here. If it says here, it says safe mode normal, and there's a couple different options for low latency and safe mode 1 and 2, but so far I just leave it at normal and it's working fine. And let me bring up audio. So here I happen to have all of my record and playback is currently from the system is pointing to there, but I could point to any other device, including the Jack router if I wanted to. Thing is that things only show up and go away in the Jack router as they're being used, and if there's still a connection being maintained, the program's still loaded in memory, it will remember where it's going, but if it unloads and it completely loads up again, you'll have to reconnect from what to what. So I currently have those going to there, which under the configure speaker, where is it here for the output, I have it currently routed to 15, 16. There's 15 and there's 16. So any system sounds come from coming on the board on 15, 16 if I bring up the interface here. So any system sounds from the Mac come in 1516. I've got another computer, Linux machine here, and it's currently coming in 1314, and it's analog. So here I have those inputs set to say get an input from the FireWire cable, and then I have 1 and 2, which as you can see under, I've got way too many windows open here. I definitely need to close that and minimize that. I've got 1 and 2 configured, and if I bring up Skype, bring the interface over here, it says it's running, but it wasn't active. So now Skype shows. Hit cancel there. Maximize those. Skype 1 and 2 is going to playback 1 and 2. So anything Skype is playing to the system comes into 1 and 2, which as you can see on the interface here, is configured for FireWire input right there. It's a little confusing, but basically everything is going over FireWire. There is no USB hardware. There's no analog input into the computer. Everything is going over FireWire. All the A to D, D to A conversion is taking place in the mixer. And I'm not using, you can see the slider here, I'm not using the master route. The routing I've done, and this is just one way of doing it, is I have the this condenser microphone, and it's phantom power for 40 volts. And let's look at the fat channel here. I've got a downward expander turned on for 3 and 4, so it's like a noise gate, but it's variable, and it's threshold. And then I got compression, and a fairly steep threshold, and then a significant makeup gain, so I can be some distance from the microphone and still not have it jump all over the place. But if you see, it's currently sent to sub 1 and 2. If I select sub 1 and 2, it's also got a mild slope here with a little bit of makeup gain. And it's also routed to main, which I can hear in the headphones. If I put headphones on and I turn up the appropriate dial on here, or I can send to an external device, larger speakers, or the monitor. I've got a small monitor also, so I've got 3 ways of listening to this from main. And in the headphones itself has a selection of listening to main or listening to solo or tape. It's got a tape also. So that's the routing portion of it. Although the PreSonus also has on the mixer has in addition to the 16 inputs, it has virtual inputs which can be taken from different locations. In this case, I've got 17 through 30 all coming off subgroup 1 and 2, and then the last two, 31, 32, is actually the main. So if I really want to record the main off of FireWire, I would take whatever application shows up, take 31 and 32 and route it to that device and record the main. But in this case, I'm only recording from the sub 1718. In this case, you can see it's going to the QuickTime player, which is recording the screencast, and to Skype, which tab, there it is, and you can see the level there. So I'm going to select 17 and 1 there, disconnect, which that's the actual only line that's really used in Skype. It only uses the first input. So I disconnected it. You can see the level in Skype not going. So I'll hit connect. There it is, and that's a good, nice, warm level. And if I get really on it, doesn't seem to really be too much. So that's a quick rundown of how jack can be used to connect different programs back and forth, and really provide some interesting features that should be native, in my opinion, inside Mac OS X for multi-track, multi-channel stuff. Because this interface here, Windows, Show Audio, while this is nice, this is terrible. It really doesn't offer what professional audio folks need. So for input, I'm saying on this guy, input stream, I can record from second stream 1732, and I have the route, and then open up the router here on, and basically go into setup and point them all to the same input, and then whatever I route to 17 through 32, which is all the same channel, I can record from the board into a system through anything that uses the system record input. It's kind of a cheesy way of doing it, but it works. It's just not as fine-grained as be able to say, well, I want that channel and that channel. See, if there's no actual mix level, there's no other controls on it, which is kind of a stupid, or it's a oversight on the folks from Apple. So anyways, I'm going to close this all down and hit the button here and post this video.